Welcome to the Debrief, everyone. 3 weeks after the Sandy Hook school shootings, we were invited into the home of one of the children whose lives was lost because his parents say they didn't want the story of Chase Kowalski to end there. They say they were determined to keep his spirit and memory alive by literally building things that would provide joy for other children. And so they have. Becky, it's certainly good to see you again, and you asked to meet here on Nomandy Beach down on the Jersey Shore. Tell us why.
Well, I wanted to share with everybody the first Chase's Place. The playground that was built by the Sandy Ground Project to honor Chase and the 26 other people that were lost.
This location does have significance for you here in Nomandy Beach.
Yeah.
What is it?
Stephen's uncle lives in Normandy, and we came down just before Sandy hit. Chase got to play on the boardwalk. He got to throw some balls, run in the sand, play in the water, and just enjoy the Jersey Shore.
How did the Sandy Ground Project help you start fulfilling that dream that you explained to us almost a year ago?
Yeah, the vision of Chase's Place. You know, the Sandy Ground asked us if we wanted to be part of this amazing project, and we agreed. We thought it was the most perfect way to honor Chase and then to help give back to communities that were devastated by Sandy. And we chose Nomandy Beach because of our love of Jersey and Stephen's uncle. And he literally lives around the corner, and Chase's cousins are going to be able to play on his playground.
So much of it had to do with Chase himself, the Energizer Bunny, always active, always running. So playground's fitting for other kids. You wanted to see other kids live in the spirit of Chase in a way.
Absolutely. This particular playground has a summer program that like 125 kids actually get to play and come here every day. Their playground was washed away, and it was in the middle of that bay. Right. So it's awesome to be able to give back, and the healing powers that the Sandy Ground Project had for Stephen and I. We've become friends with so many of the people that are involved, and it's just a great healing process. We've been very blessed to be able to be a part of it. It's been nice.
We were in awe of Becky Kowalski on this recent visit, as we were when we first met her, 3 weeks after unspeakable horror. The following aired in our newscast then.
So Becky, you really want viewers to get a sense of Chase, and there's no better place than right here. I mean, you have some of his artwork out for us, but just kind of take us through some of this. This is what I was struck with, him writing a letter to Santa, but he did it early.
He did it probably 2 weeks before this whole thing happened. And
after spending a few minutes in the classically boyish room of Chase Kowalski, it's hard not to expect him to come running in at any moment. After all, he was a runner, that Chase, with medals and trophies to show for it. You can tell he loved the Yankees. He loved Jimmy Johnson, the NASCAR driver. He loved American flags. In fact, his mom, Becky, says he just loved, period.
He just had a big heart, and he shared with everybody, even the kids that, I don't know if I like that one yet. He had to find a way, but he always found a way to, he always found something good in somebody.
Chase was the third child of Becky and Stephen Kowalski. A joyful surprise, they candidly say. He was their youngest, their only boy. 3 weeks after a day that no one will forget, and the strength one feels in visiting the Kowalski home is remarkable.
We're getting through it. I mean, it's hard. Every day it's, I just go around and look, and definitely hard.
The Kowalskis are convinced that Chase is guiding them now to move forward and do something in his memory that will help all of the children of Newtown. Becky believes Chase told her what to do within hours after it all happening that Friday, December 14th.
Friday was horrible. It was a nightmare. But because a friend told me she thought she saw Chase, I was able to deal with that and be able to give the information that needed to be given. So he was identified. Saturday was a blur, friends in and out of the house. Went to bed Saturday night, and Friday night I took a pill to go to sleep. And Saturday I said, I can do this without a pill. And I did, so I had a clear mind. And I went to bed, and he came to me in the middle of the night, and he explained to me what we would experience.
So you have the Chase Kowalski Fund, and your idea with that fund is to raise money to build something for the young people here in Chase's memory, correct?
This isn't solely for Chase. He's not the only person that perished. He's one of 26. And in any way that we can honor my son and all of those kids and all of those teachers and aides, we'll do it. I feel like I got the peace that because he came to me, and I can do this. My grief is not so overwhelming that I can't move forward. I am moving forward, and I'm not walking, I'm running, just like my boy did.
Obviously not an easy question, but broadly, how you doing? What's the year been like? What's been the toughest part of it? I know it sounds obvious, and I don't mean to be insensitive, but people want to know.
Yeah, it's been a year of slow healing. I think the playground process was huge for Stephen and the girls and I. We've had people honor Chase in many different ways. So the summer was a difficult summer because we didn't see him playing, but it was also a summer that had a lot of healing. And reflecting back on it, we did a boat commissioning with Chase and Ben Wheeler. They were honored on the boats from the Sea Scouts down in D.C. And then they were also honored with a chapel at Camp Oast. So those things were just amazingly healing for us as a family. We had a week-long trip, kind of put it all together and ended with the playground. And it was hard, but it's so nice to see what people and see the love that people are sharing.
The dream inspired you so much when you had it shortly after it happened. You wanted to share with us and invite us, saying, look, the story doesn't end here. We got to go in his room. Has his room changed much, or?
Not at all. You know what, there's a few more quilts. We've been given gifts of quilts and little trinkets here and there. Some athletes have honored us with medals, so they actually are on our fireplace screen. I'm not ready to change it yet. So it is what it is, you know.
How's the rest of the family doing, Stephen, who had to work, and understandably so, and your other children?
Everybody's, adjusting. I guess that's the best word you can say. It's a new adjustment. The girls are into their own activities, and they're doing well. So again, the adjustment has been difficult, but the rewards that we've gotten through the love of so many people has been amazing.
One of the things was the foundation, and you're in an interesting partnership with the YMCA, and you say that really gets at the core of what you do in honoring Chase. Explain a little bit about it.
Absolutely. That was a gift from heaven also, something that just naturally happened. We wanted to make a Chase's Place, a community center in Newtown. That was our thought in the beginning days. But what we found was Stephen and I didn't want to be the ones that opened the doors and shut the doors and turned off the lights. That was just too much of a commitment for us. So what we decided would be a good fit was we had the opportunity to partner with the YMCA in Greater Waterbury, and it's offering us the opportunity to affect so many more people. And we've started Chase's Scholarship Fund, where 135 children were helped to receive those benefits of the scholarships. We also have instituted a triathlon program through the Greater Waterbury YMCA. These YMCAs are taking the program on, so we'll have probably about 30 kids in each program that will learn to swim, bike, and run, and then they'll have a culminating event where they'll all get together and have a big triathlon.
Becky, it's worth reminding the viewer why triathlons are so important when you're talking about honoring Chase.
Swim, bike, run. That's what he was. That was the essence of who Chase was. He would ride his bike in the summer. He would ride his bike, swim, and run. Day after day,
And he asked you, is there something where you could do all three?
Yeah, well, he taught himself how to swim.
Yeah.
And he raced his sisters until he was good enough, and then he came in and said, I want to do I want to do that race, Mom, where I can swim, I can bike, and I can run.
Yeah.
And again, we just kind of chuckled at him and said, Chase, that's a triathlon. Maybe when you're 16, And he said, Mom, Google it. Go ahead, just Google it. I said, all right, I did. And lo and behold, there's a kids triathlon. Mm-hmm. So we found that most fitting. to honor Chase in a way that gave him such self-esteem, made him so proud of himself, so other kids can feel that and learn how to swim, bike, and run, and put it all together and accomplish something really big.
Let me ask you, and you tell me how comfortable you are, a couple of things over the course of the year. For example, the first selectman of Sandy Hook said, look, we appreciate all the outpouring of grief, but we've got to scale it back now. We've got to kind of get back to some sense of normalcy. What were your thoughts on that when you heard about it?
I agreed 100%. The amount of love and monetary things and possessions that people just gave from their heart has been amazing. The craftsmanship of all sorts of items have just been beautiful. In a million years, you go to a craft fair, you wouldn't see as much stuff as we've seen, and it was wonderful, and it helped in healing. We shared a lot of that stuff with other people. Prayer shawls we gave to cancer victims. Actually, we're sharing Christmas ornaments this season with friends. New friends and old friends, so they have a little piece of Chase on a Christmas tree. So it's not sitting in boxes, and it's not put in the sacred soil. Pat Lodra has been amazing. I think she's a great woman. I think she's handled this beautifully for somebody who didn't sign up for any of this, like all of us. None of us signed up for it, but we've been doing the best that we can.
What about the raising of the elementary school where it happened? What were your thoughts on that?
You know, in regards to the elementary school, we don't have any more kids that go there. So our feeling was just to support the teachers and the families that had to return there. They need to be the ones that are happy with the outcome and the situation. The school itself, that's where Chase died, but his spirit lives on so much greater that that building means nothing to me. I have no issues with it.
You and Steve are perhaps more private than some of the other families who've chosen to take on certain causes. How tough is it when certain headlines come out? We come up on the anniversary. The report issued by the police and the prosecutors last week. Did you read it? How does it connect with you?
I didn't read it. I didn't need to read it. It doesn't change the outcome, and I choose to stay on the positive side. I choose to. There's nothing in there that can make anything different. So I try not to read the newspapers. I try not to watch the news sometimes, you know. Sometimes it's difficult. On a good day, I can handle it. On a not so good day, I shut it off. You know, I choose every day to make positive and good choices. And that's how I get through every day. I have two beautiful girls that I live for. You know, Stephen and I both, you know, every day we get up, we thank God that we have two healthy girls and that we're able to get up. It would be really easy to just fold up and not participate in life. But we've got some great things happening that you can't. You have to share it, and we have to make that vision a reality.
Becky, talk a little bit about the fundraising. I mean, obviously there were a big appeal for help following that, but you were very specific with what you wanted for the Chase Kowalski Fund. Tell us about it, the funds that you raised, who was contributing. Give us a little bit of a snapshot.
Well, we've started as a grassroots foundation, and we have just been getting donations from everyday people, helping us to make this a reality. And so in doing that, we also felt that we needed to make it, you know, legal, legitimate, whatever you want to call it. And we applied for our 501c3, which is a non-for-profit status. And believe it or not, on 9/11, we got that approval.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it took a little while for us to actually get that letter.
Right.
But when we did, we were thrilled. And now, you know, all the grassroots that we've been doing have been amazing, and we've made differences in children's lives. So partnering with the YMCA and their missions and our missions work together about family values and children and health and wellness. With the 501c3, we can now look for corporate donations that will help us build Chase's place in the YMCA in the Pomperaug region. We have to raise over $800,000 for this building, and we're in for the challenge, you know. We're in for the long haul. We'll make it happen. And that'll be the first one. There's a prototype kind of thing in the Greater Waterbury Y that when I saw it, I was like, this is perfect. And, you know, the hopes and dreams are for it to be taken nationwide, you know, in any kind of YMCA. The triathlon program, the same thing. We want that to go nationwide. We're going to kind of box it up and give you the whole itinerary of what you need, what it takes to put on the triathlons, you know, you need 10 stopwatches, you need 35 caps, goggles, swimming suits, bicycles, all that stuff. So all those programs we're going to be able to be put in a box and then brought to somebody's community. You know, if you have a YMCA, you can ask them. If you have a Parks and Rec that want to do it, we'll be able to supply those things at a later date. You know, it's not all finished up yet, but we're working on it. We want to try and get our first 3 under our belt. We're having our own triathlon in Monroe in the summertime, and we have, you know, 5K runs that we're going to be doing. We're in talks with Nomandy Beach to have a 5K run sometime in August. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and the full name of the foundation is CMAC, Chase Michael Anthony Kowalski Sandy Hook Memorial Fund. It's a mouthful, but it's worth every bite.
The daughters. Oh,
yeah.
your
This
daughters.
one's Brittany, this one's Aaron, and then
Okay.
that's Steve.
And who
then
signed
me.
for him?
I did.
You did.
Yep. To Normandy Beach, love Chase. And then we stuck his Remember Chase pins. A friend of ours that came up from Florida said, you got to do one of those cement things where you put your hands in it. And they were already doing the flagpole. And he's like, that's a fantastic idea. So ours was the first one to have a flagpole. C-H-A-S-E. Oh, and I put a halo.
How often do you think you'll come visit her?
At least once a year. Hopefully more. We've made so many friends here.
Yeah.
With the firefighters.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I never realized how special firefighters really are. What an amazing camaraderie they have together, and just they're so sweet and just so pure. The ones that we've got to be friends with are just amazing.
Yeah.
And I love them like a whole new family, you know. And there's so many people, so many athletes and people that we never would have met. It's kind of like the silver lining, consolation, you know, the loss of Chase and the love we had for him. It's just, it'll never be replaced, but it's been really special.
Wow. Well, I'm happy to be on Chase's playground, but if I get hurt,
Oh, come on,
you know
big
first
baby.
aid? You get one of those firefighters for first aid?
I got him on text.
Yeah, okay,
I
good.
need 911.
That's cool.
All right,
Okay.
go, swing.
Yeah, swing.
1,
Yeah.
2,
Why am I nervous?
I don't know, 3, ready,
3.
go. I didn't go as high as I wanted to.
Me either. Not good for shoes.
Ready?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Show
great.
off.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I'm wearing a coat.
Oh my God, I'm too big for this. Ready?
Yo, you are. Look at me.
Yay!
Hurry up, get out of the way. Hurry up, get out of the way. Becky, this question only hit me as we were talking because we were there. Mike and I were there a year ago. And this kind of started with a dream, very vivid dream of Chase talking to you. I'm just curious, as a dad, as someone who's been watching this, do you still dream about him?
I've had a couple, yeah. Pretty amazing ones. Probably a little too emotional to share, but, and I see him in rainbows all the time. It's my sign with him. It's, you know, I get out of the shower and just the way the shower door hits the sunlight coming in, there's a little rainbow. One day I was literally parking the car and I looked over and the car next to me was just a rainbow. And I had to take my glasses off because I was like, this is not happening. And I looked over again, nothing. Put the glasses back on, rainbow. I'm like, hi honey, I know you're here.
On air everywhere. Get the NBC4 New York app. Breaking news, video, improved alerts, streamlined navigation, and updates from Storm Team 4. Search WNBC in the App Store now. At News 4 New York, sometimes you deliver the best news. Well, we like you too. Share the like on Facebook.
In a moment, the world can change.
And you need a news team who speaks your language.
News 4 New York.
On Telemundo Nueva York are working together for you.
From today's top stories
to tomorrow's biggest trends.
from clear skies
to severe weather. We bring you stories,
That hit close to home.
even if home is far away. Because no matter where you are,
we're here to keep you connected.
News 4 New York.
And Telemundo Nueva York, together we're working for you.